Vaquita porpoises are the smallest, rarest, and most endangered cetacean in the world. They're also the cutest in my opinion. They're like little panda-faced porpoises. They can only be found in a super small northern section of the Gulf of California. Females are just a little bit larger than males and reach a maximum length of just 4.9 feet. In 1997, when the first comprehensive vaquita population survey was done, there were an estimated 567 individual vaquitas, which means little cow in Spanish. But today there are only somewhere around 6 to 13 vaquitas remaining. And that's a bad omen for the health of the Gulf's marine ecosystem. So if we don't do something and move porpoisefully, they could soon disappear from the face of the earth forever. But luckily, we got a super cool biosciences and conservation company called Colossal on the case. Just last year, they announced the launch of the Colossal Foundation. It's a nonprofit focused on the conservation of extant species by developing conservation-related sciences and technologies. And one of the first projects they announced is centered on monitoring the little vaquita and developing enhanced conservation strategies to improve their chances of population recovery. And to that end, they've partnered with the Vaquita Monitoring Group, a local youth organization, and also the Mexican government's National Commission of Protected Natural Areas. One of the first things they're doing is utilizing state-of-the-art monitoring technologies like underwater acoustic sensors and drones to monitor the vaquita in their natural habitat. That way, we can retain a clear picture of where individual vaquitas are and how they're doing. And we can focus on intervening in illegal fishing operations that have all but wiped out their population. Their biggest threat, and what's been driving their steep population decline, is what's called gill net fishing. Gill nets are vertical panels of netting that hang in the water. They're designed so that fish can fit their head, but not their body, through the net. When they poke their head through the net, it catches on their gill cover or other protrusions like their fins. And that entraps them in an entangled mesh ready for harvest. Gill nets have been banned and made illegal in the vaquita's range, but it's hard to enforce effectively because fishermen have a huge monetary incentive to skirt or ignore regulations. See, vaquitas share their range with this odd-looking fish called the totoaba. Their meat is highly valuable and their swim bladders are considered a Chinese delicacy and are used in soups and traditional medicine. Like the swim bladders are so valuable on the black market that totoabas are sometimes called the cocaine of the sea. In 2018, Chinese customs officials seized about 980 pounds of the bladders, estimated to be worth $26 million. Hopefully we can preempt and prevent the vaquita from going extinct. But Colossal is also the de-extinction company that plans to bring back the woolly mammoth, thylacine, and dodo. And another part of these projects is the Colossal BioVault, which is the world's largest distributed biobanking initiative. So if the vaquita does eventually end up going extinct, it's a little bit reassuring that we'll have a plethora of genetic information about them. And Colossal is developing all sorts of cool methods of returning and rewilding extinct animal populations to their natural habitats. Whatever happens, we can help ensure that animals like the vaquita will be protected and remain on Earth for generations to come. It's my hope, and I do believe that with the continuation of efforts like these, that by the time I kick the bucket, there will be more vaquita porpoises in the Gulf of California than there were the day I was born.